by the way, I agree with you that we need to be discerning, because there is a lot of stuff that is counterfeit and that is not true and so forth. So we have to be discerning. My background being in journalism and law, I look for evidence. I look for corroboration. I look, how do I know this is true? And so I was a skeptic about near-death experiences. I thought that was kind of a new agey thing.
Yeah.
Until I found there are 900 scholarly articles about near-death experiences in scientific and medical journals over the last 40 years. This is a well-researched area. And what you find is that in a near-death experience, a person is clinically dead generally. They have no brain waves, no heartbeat, no respiration, but they're gonna come back. And during the time that they are clinically dead, they say later, I was conscious the whole time. And this is what happened to me. And there's a common core to what generally happens. They often meet divine figure. They often have a life review with that divine figure. They often meet people who had preceded them in death and things like that. But here's where the corroboration comes in for me. Often they will see things or hear things that would have been impossible for them to see or hear had their spirit not actually separated from their body, and they're able to experience this as an out-of-body experience. So I'll give you an example. There was a woman who was dying, taken to the hospital in London, named Maria, as I recall, and here she is in the hospital in the emergency room, and she's passed away. But she says later, I was conscious the whole time. And her spirit separated from her body, and she said she met a divine figure. It was like nothing she'd ever experienced. It was overwhelming. But then she said, I was watching from the ceiling of the room in the hospital as they were trying to resuscitate my body. So she's watching all this. And then they were able to resuscitate her body. Her spirit returned to her body. And she said, by the way, see the ceiling fan here in this room? There's a sticker, a red sticker, on the top of one of the blades. You couldn't see it from the room, but she saw it from her perspective looking down. And she described it in great detail. Well, they got a ladder, they went up, sure enough, on the top of the blade that nobody could see from the room, here's a sticker just as she described it. That's the kind of corroboration I'm looking for.